Let's record.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How you doing? How you doing, Deb?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I know we're going to be getting some bad rain the rest of the week, so we got to keep positive here
Oh,
and stuff. And there's so much going on in this world. So we're going to do something positive today. Debbie, thank you so much for this subject. What a wonderful subject. I was reading it and I was it's great. We know a lot about it and we want to do more about it. So with that, Deb, why don't you talk about what we're going to talk about today?
oh, good. All right. So Lori and I ironically get this one magazine, okay? And Lori's really good. She's always surfing around in the net getting all these informations. But this one magazine that we both get, it has a lot of like nuts and bolts and different things in there, okay? And I ran across this subject said lifelong learning. And I thought, okay, you're never too old to learn, you guys. Okay. And little kids are like little sponges and they learn so much all over the place. But I will never be too proud to say that I can't learn something new, or I can learn from someone younger, I could learn from someone older, or whatever. And I think that the one thing it says is continuing education can improve our health and happiness. Try some of these thoughts that we have here and see if it can help you. And I think one thing that Lori just brought up a few minutes ago as we were talking before this, we're reaching out to a whole bunch of different people, but there's a lot of people that are hitting retirement age, and there's a lot of people that are empty nesters, and there's a lot of people that are looking for things to do. So my number one is always like, okay, where can you help others? Donate some time in your community or church. But okay, now let's say, and where can you learn something, right? So with that, Lori's got a cute story. Well, you want to tell them about Gary?
Yeah, I do. I have a great story. That's what I was hoping maybe we could interview him for a couple minutes, but he was running out the door. But my boyfriend, he was a mortician, worked for 47 years in the funeral business, and he retires. And all of a sudden, he decides that he's going to learn how to cook. So he spends hours after hours watching videos of how to cook. And sometimes the same video over and over again because he wants to do it exactly. Buys all the pots and pans that the people use. And now he's cooking every night and he's so excited about it. He has done so many different things. He says, I think of stuff that I've always wanted to eat, and that's what we're making.
There you go.
So that's a lifelong learning process there. And he's so excited about it. I says, you miss the funeral business? He goes, heck no, I love cooking better.
That's awesome.
Isn't that a great
There you go. It's a great story to start off with. And quite honestly, again, you're never too old to pick up something and learn it
right?
or perfect something that you're doing and you want to be better at it. So anyways, well, let's start with number one, and then we have another little cheat sheet of some other things to add on. Try an online class, guys. You do not have to leave your home if
Right.
you don't want to. YouTube is the best resource, but if you need and you want to learn something, my cousin in her older years went actually to school and took classes to learn about weather. Not really because she thought she was going to be a meteorologist. She wanted to learn about weather. Why does weather do what it does?
Wow.
And why not, right? I mean, I think it's pretty cool. So anyways, what do you think, Laura? What do you get? Well, your whole story would just fit right into it.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's great to take online classes. I know that a lot of things like I don't know, but in when Gary was in the funeral business, you could watch classes online for your CE hours and but yeah, there's a lot of online classes. In fact, Canva, the program that I use for doing all our advertising, he just had a big online class that unfortunately I missed, but they're always doing classes. But yeah, online is great. You don't have to leave your house. You don't even have to show yourself. You could block your face out so you're not in there. You know what I mean? It's just fantastic. I know that a lot of our kids that have done masters, they do a lot of online classes to get their masters done. So that's like their lifelong learning and stuff. I know that my son, he's going for a second master's and he's just have to be in class like once a week, but otherwise it's online. So yeah, that's great. You have anything more on that, Deb?
Oh, I was just gonna say that the next one kind of compliment is pick up a book. I mean, there's some
Yeah,
old fashioned book learning. Okay. But you know what? There's books that, do you remember those books that you would see in the store that say how to do, and they're kind of white and yellow, and then it's how to be a computer geek, how to do this, how to fix this, how to do this. And it's for dummies. It's something
yeah,
like how.
right, right. Yeah, Microsoft for Dummies. Yeah, oh yeah, there was a whole series of different books.
Absolutely. And you guys, I'm a big advocate for, hey, let's get yourself on Hoopla on your iPad or your computer so that you could link into your library and rent a book for free. But I do have to say, I do like to have a physical book that I open up. Okay. And if you ever need a book, please, don't know what to read. We've got authors on this platform that
Yes, we do.
some of them have some new release books that maybe you didn't get to yet. Okay. And so we're not going to say them right now because there's
Yeah,
leave anyone out, but we want to tell you that like leaders are readers, people who read.
right, right, right. Yeah, no, that's reading. I'm not a big reader. I'm a hands-on, I'm a visual person. So stuff like YouTube and online is definitely for me and stuff. So I think that comes from me being a florist. I have to be doing something and
Well,
stuff.
Lord,
Speaking about, I'm sorry, Deb.
let me just tell you this on the bottom of this one little block here, it says pick your book. It also says also thanks to hands-on workbooks. That would be perfect.
Oh yeah, hands-on workbooks, right? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That would be great. But let me see. I'm trying to see here.
I know.
Oh, yeah, going back to school. I've always had this thing. You're gonna laugh, Deb. You probably don't even know this about me. But I'm Italian, everybody knows that. And my mom was Italian from Italy, so she spoke Italian, but she didn't want us to learn English. I took a Italian class at how to speak Italian at College of DuPage when I was in my 20s.
Right?
And it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And I took a sewing class too. I
Mhm.
I did, yeah, but I don't know if I could even still sew, but yeah, I made some stuff. I just felt I wanted to learn. And it was in when I was in my 40s. But with my disabilities, I'm always thinking of what I could do because I'm at home a lot of times and stuff. So yeah, going back to school is great. You said about your cousin, that's great.
Hey, when my brother and I were out of high school and we weren't the most confident swimmers, we both took a swimming class together
Oh,
ourselves in the pool, and we were the only adults there. There was all kids, but here's me and my brother. But we wanted to just sharpen up and kind of like get a little bit better skill because it's never.
right, right, right. Yeah, no, that's great. And you know what? You could go to a college and take a non-credited course. There's a lot of them over. I'm by Moraine Valley, and I've always looked at their book to see what they have, when they send the things out in the mail. And I always thought, oh, I'd love to take this class. I'd love to take that class and stuff. So we're encouraging you. But I don't want to interrupt you, Debbie, but you know what I was reading on here? You should make like a checklist of what you want to do, okay? Because you don't want to just jump into something. Make a checklist of what you're looking for. Are you looking something that you're going to be bored after a while? Is it something you've been wanting to do for a long time? You have to kind of make a commitment to it because you don't want to just do something and then quit right away. Do you have anything on that, Deb?
Say one thing, I'm thinking of a good friend of ours, Chris, who is a master gardener. Look at how she went to a bunch of classes in her older,
Yes.
and stuff, and learned how to be just phenomenal at gardening, flowers and vegetation stuff.
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, that's great and stuff. Like I said, you don't, yeah, maybe now that we're older, and stuff, we might want to learn now. Cause, when we're in school and we're younger and, 16, 17 years old, we worked hard at school, but we didn't work as hard as we probably should have. But now that we're older, you appreciate things more and you want to learn.
Well, and I think we can say this, the younger generation jumps right on YouTube, Google, searches, and all that stuff. And I'll tell you something really interesting, and I hope this is a good tidbit for people. Anytime we have something that breaks down, we go on YouTube and we go, how do we fix it? And Lori and I were having a problem the other day with the computer thing, and we were jumping on. Weren't quite successful yet, but we will get it fixed. It's a little quirky thing. But we go on there and we learn stuff. Well, I've got a lot of clients. I'll say to them, hey, you should braid your hair. You know, it'd be fun to do a braid. They're like, I don't know how to braid. I'm like, you need to get on YouTube and watch the YouTube and figure it out. This is our world right now. It's everything
Right.
fast fingertips. We want to know, how do you get the job done? How do you do it? So YouTube is, you can find a YouTube on just about anything. What
Anything.
cracks me up though, Lori, is that where do these people come up with the time and think like, oh, I think I'll just do YouTube? Are they doing it on the gracious part of their heart, or do they have a YouTube channel that's like really cranking in a lot of stuff and they're making money? Because there are people that do that, you know? It's crazy.
People, that's like their lifelong learning of doing something cool, even with all these podcasts and stuff. And look what we're doing. It's the thing too, it's just amazing all the stuff that we could do. You know what? I once fixed my dishwasher from watching a YouTube video. I was so determined to do that thing. I started doing it and then I couldn't do it. And I gave up and I just put everything aside. I went back and watched YouTube like 3 times and I go, I'm determined to do it. And I fixed it. So, there's so much learning in everything we do nowadays. I say, and I don't know how you feel about it, I always say, if I was a student now, how easy I would have been able to learn things. Because years ago, it was just you open the book and you had to read it. And for people that were learners like me, it was hard. It was really hard.
Totally. Well, I think we kind of double dipped and covered some of these points.
Yeah.
Try an app. Okay, there's apps, right? There's apps that will diagnose. So you put in the problem or you scan something or you put in, I mean, it's just insane, you guys. But I'm just talking about, maybe this isn't like exactly what we're saying about how life, but I think it's learning to be solution orientated so that you can find your answers. You know what I mean?
Yes, right, definitely. And there is so many apps out there. I cannot believe how many apps are out there for every single thing.
I know.
And and like I said, you need to spend some time and think about what you want to do.
Mhm.
And you could start off small, because you know what? We talked about this, Debbie. A lot of our age people
Yeah.
are empty nesters now, or
Right.
they're starting to think about retirement.
Yeah.
Even if you're not retirement age, say you're in your late 50s or early 60s,
Yeah.
and you want to know more about what you could do when you're retired, that's when you could do research on all these different things on retirement. We
Right.
could find out so much information that way. But
Absolutely.
lifelong learner, I just
Mm.
wait. I don't know if anybody saw my ad for today for what we were doing, but that picture of the guy with the sitting in the desk and he's like a student, an old guy. I just fell in love with that picture when I seen it. So
You know what?
I
And
hope you got a little bit of a laugh from that today.
you always come up with the best acronyms and the best ways to kind of put stuff out there. But guess what? Lori didn't know how to use Canva before, neither did I.
Right.
Lori's rocking out Canva. And I got to tell you, there's another thing that I've been trying to learn a lot. And I've been on tutorials, like Lori was saying, Canva
Yeah.
gives you
Yeah.
information. I've been using Constant Contact, and that's a cool lead generator thing. I'm telling you that if you just learn to listen to be a student kind of thing, you can do it. And like Lori was saying, make a list of what you want to do, identify those, and find the resources, which are so easy. Okay. So maybe you want to take up cooking like Gary did. Maybe you want to take up sewing. Lori went to a sewing class. What about knitting or crocheting? I want to knit another. I can knit scarves really good. And I see people who do some beautiful different like patterns and stuff. I haven't learned that yet, but I can, and I could take up a class. But make a set a goal. and listen to like whatever we're saying and everything, write down, like Lori was saying, write down. And honestly, you'll be able to figure it out. I mean, if you can't figure it out, ask a friend or ask somebody,
Right,
Google it.
right. Debbie, you remember we were talking about when you were talking about if you don't want to take a class to learn that maybe you want to become a teacher?
I love that idea because
Yeah,
here's the thing. If you have a time or a gift or a talent, okay, number one, we want to interview you. Number two, okay,
yeah,
looking for new interviews. But if you've got something you could share with people, the park districts, who would love things like that if you want to donate some time, is going to the nursing homes, going to the senior centers,
yeah.
places that people need like a little burst of something, contacting your park district, telling them maybe they'd say, oh, you're really good at sewing or knitting. Well, maybe you can conduct a class here and maybe you do it pro bono. Maybe you don't even charge for it. I don't know. All I'm saying is that if you need to fulfill some of your like time and feel like you have a purpose, because there's a lot of people that are bored. Trust me, there's a lot you can do.
Yeah, speaking about parks, when I was in my early 20s, I taught flower arranging at the park
I
district.
remember that.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I remember that. I remember that it was kind of, it's maybe
Time. I made money, but it was not like a lot of money. But it was like I got people introduced into buying flowers, and it was great. And so that's the one thing I have to say about Debbie and I. We have always been trying to make ourselves better in some way or another, as far as learning things and doing things. Debbie is just amazing. She's like my idol when it comes to stuff like this. She's just fascinating. I don't have the drive like she has anymore because of my disabilities. But you know what, Debbie, you're amazing. And I think you're just such a great role model for the younger people in your family and stuff, because they see how hard you work to try to learn new things.
Well, I appreciate it, but Lori, you do with what you've got going on there, and you do it too. So you don't realize that you're not looking at that. And you are the number one. I'm telling you guys, when we did our high school reunion, Lori's like, we will find everybody. And I mean, she learned through, okay, let me go backwards for a second. Do you remember? I think it was our 20-year or maybe our 30-year reunion. And you were like, you got to get on Facebook. I'm like, what's Facebook? All right. Oh, it's this thing. You got to get on it because we can find people. And I'm like, okay, Lori said I should do this. And that's how much we trust each other. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And we go on there and however you say the whole and behold, whatever. We found people on Facebook, but Lori would stay up hours at night and she would like look for people. And because of what you did, we met other people like Joan Aubely and
We met a lot of cool people.
people that we now are like siblings of people that we went to school with that are
Right.
authors and speakers, and we've got other people that are like music performers and stuff. But Lori would she would figure, and I still remember, Facebook, is that like MySpace? I had no idea. The younger generation would probably look at it and go, MySpace, what was that?
MySpace. Oh my gosh.
And I remember. So anyway, so here's the whole thing, don't ever feel like you can't learn something. Like I hear people say, well, I don't know how to do Instagram. I don't know how to do TikTok. I don't know how. You can learn.
Right.
Same thing, guys. It's being open to learning. Don't be closed-minded. That's why we're like lifelong learning. It's kind of a multifaceted discussion because some people are, oh, I'm too old to learn. No, you're not. You're not too old. I got another one, and then I know we're gonna have to close soon, and Lord, but I remember that when I had I got my iPhone. I remember I had a flip phone. You're probably going to relate to this. And I remember my phone broke and I had I had to get another phone. And so my kids are like, oh, Mom, you got to get an iPhone. And I go, no, I'm afraid of that. I don't even know how to use one of those things. It's me now. Where's my phone? I will freak out if I don't have my phone by me. That's bad, right? But
but it's true. We live off of our phones. And another thing too, Deb, is I don't think people watch TV as much. I think they're more on their computers or other electronic stuff. I get my news from the internet. We have Gary and I have the computer on constantly, and we read all kinds of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, there's just so much to learn about every single thing.
It's
And then,
great.
and speaking about apps, I'm going to do a promotion real quick for an app, and I know that we got to probably close because of the time.
No
But
problem.
if somebody is a strong Catholic Christian, I have that Halo app.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
oh, it'll give you the readings for the day and the mass, and it has the homilies, and it has the saint of the day. And it's just in the morning before I go to mass, I listen to the readings that are going to be for the day. And
That's
it's just amazing. And the stuff that I've learned about saints. Oh my gosh. But it's Halo, Hallo and stuff. It's an app you got to pay for, but it's like $49 a year. But
some of them, when you really get down to it, it's worth it. It's worth your
it's
time.
worth it. Oh yeah, I'm on it all the time.
And
But I could talk for hours about this because this is really exciting.
I think we should do a whole segment on apps. I really do. I think
Yeah, I think we should. We
yeah, I
should
think
do.
we should. I think apps would be good because there's some apps that can really help you and make your life easier. And I think, there's a ton of them out there and stuff. So, but with that, Laura, you want to close us out?
I sure do. And you know what, everybody, have a great day. Enjoy your family. This is a beautiful fall time. And even though the weather is going to be kind of crappy the rest of the week, just enjoy it. Well, this will be a great week to go on your computer and look up some stuff you want to do.
Right.
How's that, Deb? So with that, I'm going to say, I'm Lori.
I'm Debbie.
And we're Friends Helping Friends. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Here.